All right, hello people. I'm Lycania with Lycania's Endeavors, and we're picking this mushroom vessel up in progress because we had technical difficulties with the camera after it started making it. So, anyways, so what we're doing now is we've got this head of this mushroom on the end of a barrel off the end of the rod. And what we're just trying to do is to turn this into a cone. Okay. And then I'm going to take my red. Put this over the white. Now, I want my underside of my mushroom to have some texture. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to heat up this knife and run it in some wax. The wax is just going to help it to not stick to the glass as I start sculpting. Take some ivory white and clean up the base of this mushroom a little bit. So I'm just giving it a bulbous root, and then just some little dots on it, a little texture. And then we're gonna put some dots on the cap here. Randomly spaced. Whenever I see these little dots, I want to eat them because of that movie with Gene Wilder. I'm surely in the chocolate factory. All right, so I should have warmed this glass up. I did warm this glass up, just not that one, a different one. All right, so this is an opalescent, and I'm just going to add a little opalescent bit to each of these little blobs of glass. So a little bit too. Okay. I want those to stay raised up. I want these to melt in. Heat. Let that all kind of cool. There's a lot of mass in the top of that mushroom, so that needs to be good and cool before I put it in the mealer, or it's going to smell. Alright, so this one is going to become a hat pin. So I'm going to go ahead and make it on this mandrel as if I was making a vessel. Once it comes out of the kiln, we'll remove it from the mandrel, clean off the clay, and then glue it back onto the head of the mandrel so that it's able to be removed. Mainly do that just to prevent thermal shock. On these hat pins that take a little bit more time to make, just like the extra. So I'm going to use a different red for this than I used for the first one, just because I don't have a lot of that red. So we're going to build the caps, pretty much the same, but it's going to be a smaller mushroom, so it's not going to have as much detail captured in it. So this one wants to be a younger mushroom with a pointier cap. Right. Turn down this. So this is going to be reversed. So this is going to have the opening for the vessel to be in the cap. I personally like the other way better, but both seem to have a following, so we're going to try and make sure I got 3 of each prepped for the upcoming war. Like SCA war, not real war. Like, I don't know that glass mushrooms would be much help in a real war. But when I go to my little SCA events, there's a little market for these. Okay. So the same thing as before, we're going to make a barrel. Then we're going to... So I made 2 of the other kind last night and 1 of this kind last night. So I need 2 of this kind today to get my numbers where I want them to be. And I like having this little feature down at the bottom, so we're gonna add some little material so we can build that up. Alright, so we just can see more than I want to see of the white around the edge at the base of the cap, so we're just going to cover that up. Same thing. Just gonna get a coating of wax on this knife. put some texture. All right, so the third one we're gonna do is I'm gonna make one on this doll needle. This is gonna be a much smaller mushroom, so it's gonna, again, be much less detailed. And I'm not gonna use the bead release. This is just not gonna be enough mass here to make it worth worrying about protecting. So this will be a lot quicker than the other ones. So, same as with the larger mushrooms, you're just going to build a stem for a mushroom. Not to worry about putting the base on there. We're going to build the cap. We're going to make 2 of these because I always sell these kind of hat pins as a set. And I'll probably make another 2 or 3 tomorrow. I'll probably make 2 tomorrow, so that's 3 of them. And like I said, we're going to make 2. Can knock them both out together real quick here. The sunlight's making it difficult to see. But that's an issue. And I'm wanting to get at least a batch of these done, so we're gonna go ahead and make the other half pan I have prepped. Now when I build the white base for the cap, it's a little easier for me to manipulate the construction because white is just soupier when it's hot. And I like putting like doing the two colors because it just turns some of them will come out as little eyes on this one. Just makes the little magical thing even more magical. Just dots. Okay. Alright, so my goal was to get the mushroom vessels finished. I got 27 minutes left on the kiln. One more vessel to make with the cap on the top. Oh, so on the other one, I should have given it a bottom. I didn't do that, so we'll try to remember to do that. I'm gonna start the build out on this one a little bit different. I'm going to start with the cap. I'm just doing that to make sure I've got a good connection on the red to the mandrel. So this way of making a vessel is a core formed vessel. This is a very simple core formed vessel, so it'll become a vial. And it can be made to look like a jug or a amphora, but it's a vial because the internal shape is straight and it's not going to have a handle. Yeah, if the mandrel had some shape to it, then you could theoretically, not theoretical, I mean they did do it, you could build a vessel that has a different internal shape. It's something I want to try in the future. Technical problems. All right, now we're going to build the cap. And then I'm going to build the foundation of this cap in the white, just because it's easier to push around in the red. I'm going to do something different with this one because I'm feeling bold. But we still got to build this cap. And then as before, just adding some wax. Okay, so the same thing as we've been doing. Oh, nope, I said it was going to be bold. So we're going to make a compound eye instead of just an eye. So I'm going to take a slightly different red and start my dots. So why am I doing this? It's just going to give more texture to the cap. Then we're going to come back with the opalescent. You don't want to melt those red dots in because we will lose them. So I didn't put this one back in the kiln, so it has gotten cold. I'm trying to warm it back up. Sugar tibbies. All right, that's not going to work today. Let's Now what we're doing is going to soften up the base. Press it into my marker on the side. This is going to flatten it out. Maybe it'll stand up. This is, I hope, clear. I'm going to turn the volume down. It's a lot. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add maybe raindrops. Just a few. Try and get a couple of these to run on top of. Okay, and with those, I do not want to melt them in. I want them to stay up just a little bit, like little dewdrops. Okay. Thanks. Oh wow, that was 42 minutes of making mushrooms. They'll be at go fors. All right, so I think this is the best mushroom I've done yet. I got the fluting on the bottom. It's got a nice rounded cap.